was broken mentally, and this isn't the title. It's gonna say broken, but I basically got this idea to from What If I mean the King of Weebs, and he's one of my favorite What If YouTubers. If you don't know who he is, go check him out. But if you know who I am, you probably know who he is. So Naruto, this will be replacing What If Naruto had the Ten Tails. Sorry for you people who actually like that series, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna keep this one going. And if I don't, it's probably because I'm gonna be bringing back What If Naruto had the Ten Tails. So yeah, we start off with Naruto. He's one, and Danzo's ugly self, bum self, annoying self tells everybody that Naruto has the Nine Tails. So everybody hates him, even Tsuchi and his daughter. So Naruto has no friends whatsoever, nobody, and everybody hates him. But whenever he walks out a step out the orphanage, he gets beat up. So it's way harder for him, even when he was getting beat up even when he was getting beat up and ignored every day by everybody in canon. Because every time he steps out of the orphanage, he gets his butt kicked. So Naruto basically has the worst life out of any anime character ever. So Naruto, he is hated like so much. But one day these people come in the village and they basically, well, not in the village, in the orphanage, and they basically adopt Naruto right after seeing him because they understand how hard Naruto's life is, no matter how. But these people, ironically, are famous Joni, very famous Joni, actually S rank, and they basically will be teaching Naruto how to protect himself and how to do everything else that and everything else that regular people do. So Naruto, he'll be learning how to become a taijutsu genius. Like he's one of the best taijutsu not taijutsu, kenjutsu, genin, like one of the best genin you ever seen use kenjutsu. Even though he is really good at taijutsu too itself, but not just on levels of other genin like Rock Lee and stuff. So Naruto, that's what he's been doing. He learns how to be a kenjutsu genius, prodigy, you may say, from his father, and he learns his fight, ah, God, fire style from his mom, and that's when he learns how to use fire style, fireball jutsu, fire style, phoenix fire jutsu, and how to infuse his sword with fire style. So Naruto, he has wind style too, and since he was like a little boy, like 3 years old, he's 4 now, but he's been working on this technique. His mom and dad don't even know about it. It's when he covers his body. It's like lightning cloak, but wind style. So it makes you way faster, and it basically makes any limb of your body sharp enough to cut somebody in half from touching it. But he's only on full stage 1, and that's barely faster than lightning cloak. So he needs to work more to get another stage. And he has lightning style, but he hasn't learned any lightning style techniques. But he has learned wind style wind bullet at least. something he's learned. So Naruto, he learned that, oh, those are all his techniques that he knows. So that's all really of the techniques he knows. And you probably know for now, while he has his parents still alive. Yeah, his parents have to die. His parents have to go. So that Naruto, one day, he's basically just going out to eat with his parents, right? And they, but not they don't get attacked, but Naruto, he does, and they try to protect him, but they think this person is actually just a regular villager, so they don't really pay any attention, and they get killed because this person was actually a special journey just like them, but he wasn't retired, so he was still training. And they, of course, have some scrolls for Naruto in case they died like this. So Naruto, he has some scrolls to learn from them, and he basically learns fire dragon jutsu and fire dragon missile, and those are two of the jutsu his mom gave him. And his dad basically had one style like him, so that's pretty convenient that his parents had two of the styles that he had. So Naruto, this was what broke him. These are the only people who ever cared about him, who ever actually thought to take care of him, to actually even check on how he was feeling, or even to feed him ever. Like before this, the orphanage wouldn't even feed him. He would just be starving until they came. So Naruto, he doesn't feel emotion anymore. Like he can't feel emotion, and yeah, he killed that villager. He went full One Tail's cloak and killed the villager. But Shikamaru and Choji's parents were there, and they knew what happened. So Shikamaru and Choji would know what happened later on, though, not right now. So Naruto, he's hated, especially for killing that villager. Because everybody knows about him killing the villager, of course, but... And, Sasuke has a sister. I know that's exactly like how the King of Leaves did. Sasuke had a sister, but it's relevant to the story. It helps way more. It's like, helps way more than you would think. So, Naruto, and her name would be Suki. It just makes sense. She's Sasuke's sister, and Sasuke's name is Sasuke, so it just goes with it well. So Naruto and Suki, she's neglected by her family too, like Fugaku, Fugaku's wife. I don't know how to say her name right. It's kind of a weird name. So, Naruto and her both are neglected. So, Naruto, it comes a time where Naruto has to join. Like, even the only person who actually likes her is Itachi. Even Sasuke ignores her because he feels like he saw how much a prodigy she is compared to him, and he's like nothing compared to her. Like, she's already has her one Tomo Sharingan, and she's really good at the fireball jutsu. She already knows the great fireball jutsu. So does Naruto. Like, Naruto, some people will consider him a prodigy of sorts. Even people do Chihaken like Itachi would consider him a prodigy, but not himself. He always downgrades himself, but he doesn't show any emotion ever, like, to anybody, except only emotions he's ever shown was when his parents died, and that's it. And whenever somebody brings up his parents in like a rude way, but the emotion he shows is anger, and he honestly beats the crap out of anybody who disrespects his parents. So Naruto, he basically is neglected. Like, she is. She's basically neglected like Naruto. Naruto's like 2 months older than her, so she was actually born after Naruto's attack. So not everybody hates her. Like, that's only her family who really neglects her. But like, the villagers honestly love her. Like, they really like her. But like, you would say they probably like her more than they like they probably like her more than they like Sasuke. And that's kind of weird because if you don't remember again, the villagers were kind of obsessed with Sasuke. So kind of weird saying that, but they probably do. So Naruto, this video is probably going to be more than 20 minutes because I just feel like making one more longer than 20 minutes since I'm not going to upload tomorrow because it's Christmas, man. I got to hang out with the family. I'm actually going to my grandma's house tomorrow with my cousins and stuff. So, and on the weekend I might make a video because I'm getting a new device for Christmas. So I'm gonna be able to make more videos because really my most big problem is my device. Honestly, I would say. So that's gonna be improved. Actually, my device is gonna die. Actually, that I'm using, so it probably is gonna be just 20 minutes. Sorry, but I'll probably make some this weekend. So don't worry. Probably, not guaranteed. So Naruto, he is basically, I was gonna say interested by Suki, but he doesn't show any emotions, so he's really not interested by her. Of course, he sits in the back by the door. I mean, not by the door, in the back by the window, and of course, still hated. Even everybody in the academy hates him except for Shikamaru and Choji. So we skip a couple of years. And Naruto, he's 10 now. And we see him, Choji, and Shikamaru in the classroom. And Shikamaru and Choji are trying to offer him lunch. Because this might sound like the king of weebs a little bit, but he doesn't eat but instead of the king of weebs, he doesn't eat at all unless he's has to or he's gonna die. Because he's saving up a lot of money to move out the village because he knows if he just moves that the villagers won't let him do that, the Hokage wouldn't let him do that, and he'll send some Anbu after him, and he wouldn't be able to handle those Anbu. So Naruto, he's 10 now, and we skip a couple of years after this happens, and Shikamaru and Choji have been begging him to become their friends. These are the only friends he has, and he actually shows emotion towards them, and this emotion is friendliness. But this is the only person he ever shows emotion to. Like, if it's anybody else, don't expect him to smile at you because it won't happen. So don't expect it to happen. Even if you give him everything you got, he probably still wouldn't smile at you. He only honestly became their friends because he noticed they were pretty nice people and they didn't hate him. They're the only people that he knows that doesn't hate him. Like, even Naruto hates Naruto. Like, that's how bad it is. So Naruto and Choji and Shikamaru are graduating. Naruto, he obviously graduated with flying colors because he's a prodigy. Naruto's honestly the best student in class. He's actually became what was I gonna say? He actually became rookie of the year. Student of the year basically. I don't know what they call it. I forgot. Haven't watched Naruto in a while. And that's why I always forget their names and stuff. So Naruto and Choji graduate, and Shikamaru. So Naruto, he gets put on a team with Suki, um, Suki, Sasuke, and him. That's basically the team. So that's basically their team 7. Basically, Sakura didn't even graduate because they just thought all she has is smarts, and those are only book smarts. So whenever it comes to anything else, she's kind of terrible at it. So they don't let Sakura graduate, but they do let Naruto graduate because they saw how good he was through the year. Even though they don't want him to graduate, they still had to make him graduate, or they would get punished by the Hokage. Because the Hokage still is nice to Naruto. That will never change in my list, like unless it's completely necessary to the story. So Kakashi comes late, of course. And Naruto, he usually doesn't pull pranks, but this time he didn't. He's not really pulling a prank. He's more trying to see if their Jonin is worthy of to teach him, and he basically sets up a trap more than a trick. It's more like once he opens the door, a kunai will come straight for Kakashi. And then once he catches it, because he knows if he's a Jonin, he has to catch it. Like if he doesn't catch it, he's completely retarded. And he doesn't deserve to even be a Jonin. He will die, but Naruto doesn't care about killing people. As I said earlier, Naruto doesn't care. He's not scared of anybody, which could be his downfall eventually, but probably won't. So Naruto, he's basically they get to Kakashi points at him and says, "Dreams, likes, dislikes now," and he says, "Dislikes everything in this village, likes nothing. Dream to leave this village, probably even destroy it one day." And Suki, she's interested in this, and Naruto, like, when I say Naruto's training is intense, I mean it's intense. Like, no Genin should be doing this training without eating. No Genin should be doing this training, period. So, this is like Jonin level training. Of course, he's not Jonin level. I'm not gonna make Naruto that OP. This isn't what if more like making Naruto OP or nothing. Well, he is gonna be pretty strong, of course, but like regular Naruto's pretty strong in himself. So, like he's the strongest ninja in the world in Naruto. So I'm pretty sure Naruto's pretty strong without me making him OP. So Naruto, those are his goals, and Suki, she's pretty intrigued by this because her dream. Well, so once she's thought of leaving the village before, since her family neglected her, and she wants to find her brother and live with him because that was the only person who ever actually acknowledged her and loved her. And Chisui's dead. Chisui actually cared for her too, but he's dead now. So yeah, no disrespect to Chisui lover, but I like Chisui too, but he's dead, man. He's dead. So Naruto, he chilling after he said his goals, and Suki said to live with her brother, the only person who ever loved her, and her likes is her big brother. Her dislikes are her family, besides her big brother. And this irritates Sasuke because Sasuke really is I don't really like Sasuke. So if you feel some like disrespect towards Sasuke, it probably is. Just not gonna hold you there. Probably is. So Naruto, he's intrigued by this, and he knows about Itachi. He knows about the Uchiha clan. He knows about a lot of stuff. Like, he's smart and he has his ways around the village. So Naruto, he chilling honestly, Then Sasuke's goal is to kill his brother. And this, he knows they're brother and sister, so he's intrigued by this Naruto, but he's not surprised or really cool feeling some type of way about it because he doesn't feel ways. He doesn't feel, so he can't feel some type of way about it. So Naruto, he is chilling and they ask Kakashi what's his goal since he wants to know about all their personal stuff. So Kakashi basically tells them that that's classified information. They can't know that. So this doesn't really bother Naruto because he doesn't care. He couldn't care if he even if he wanted to. He couldn't care. So honestly, Suki's pretty pretty interested by Naruto, and Naruto not pretty interested in her, but she's still pretty interested in him. So she follows Naruto and she sees Naruto intensely training, and she remembers that Naruto didn't eat lunch at the academy, so she's really confused. But Naruto, he actually passed out because he's not able to have enough. He doesn't have enough fuel in his body to keep him going. So Suki basically goes down there and puts Naruto on her lap, and he basically wakes up eventually. And he's not flustered by this because he can't get flustered because forget he's emotionless, so it's not a thing for him. So Naruto, he asks what is he doing there, and so Suki, she's more she wants to leave the village even more after seeing Naruto working so hard to go to do what he wants to do. She's inspired by Naruto, and Suki says that she's leaving with Naruto and they're gonna leave together. And Naruto asks why does she want to leave? Doesn't she have a perfect life here as a praised Uchiha? And Suki slaps him dead in the face. And he asks what was that for because he just randomly slapped him like he didn't even do anything. But then Suki tells him about her life, and he is pretty interested now because he never knew about how hard the struggle was for her. So he's pretty interested in her, but he doesn't show it because he can't. So, and Suki asks about why doesn't Naruto ever show any emotion like he's emotionless, and he says because he is. He doesn't have anybody to care for him anymore, except for his two friends, Shikamaru and Choji, and maybe the Hokage. So Suki tells him that he has somebody that will care for him from now on forever, since they're gonna have to be together for a while. Well, they're gonna be together, and Naruto, he's okay with this actually, leaving the village of Suki. But this is where I'm gonna leave it off. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss when I upload another video. Peace out. Boom.